a nightmare. For a second, I thought I was going out of my mind.
Hello and welcome to another statue review. Today we'll be doing the premium format Sideshow Symbiote Spider-Man. I think premium format in Sideshow language means 1/4 or something like that. But anyway, this is a 1/4 scale statue. A small surprising for you guys a little bit later that makes this guy a little bit more sentimental to me. He is one of the best licensed pieces of the Symbiote Spider-Man I've seen. I know there are a few out there that are unlicensed as well, but I saw this guy and I was like, that's it for me. I'm sure you collectors out there know that kind of feeling where you're like, yep, that's the guy, that's Spider-Man to me, or that's Venom to me, or whoever. He retailed about $470 on the Sideshow website. There was 1,250 made. I've got 554. Yeah, it's very nice. It's very dynamic. That's the best thing about it. There is a normal version of him, like a red suit Spider-Man, or his classic suit, which came with an exclusive with a different portrait. And obviously, instead of his fist out, he's got his throbbing fingers, you know, where there's a little bit of web coming out too, which is pretty cool. I picked him up in a place called Zing. If you've seen my other videos, you'll hear me talk about it. It's like ThinkGeek. Even the color sequence is quite similar, where it's green and black. But yeah, this is a nice statue. I picked him up there. I saw him, and I think they told us he was out for like a couple of days, and I saw him. I was like, I have to pick it up. It sucked too, because we were on our way to a convention, or from a convention, where I pretty much blew all my money on this guy. For like, it was like just over $800, which isn't too bad for such a big guy in Australia, Australian dollars too. So anyway, he's extremely dynamic. As you can see, he's just got one hand on a looks like scaffolding or something like that, a crane. You've got like a little hook here with the crane. An explosion makes the crane kind of tilt, which looks really nice. Then you've got him leaping over it, you know, with his hand out, just about to spray a web. I kind of wish they came with a different, like a swap out of the hand, where you could have a little bit of webbing coming out, just like the red suit, the classic suit Spider-Man, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I think this is awesome. The texture on the suit looks a little weird. It's a little rough. I'll get you some close-ups of that guy, of that soon. But it's not too bad to me. To me, it's just like, it's just part of the symbiote. Makes it look a little bit more organic rather than material made, you know? Paint is really nice. I just love this pose. How he's jumping over. He's in the midst of battle. It's definitely not a museum pose. It's very dynamic. It's an action pose for sure, you know? But yeah, let's start talking about him. His arm here does come out with a peg and a magnet. And it's cut off by the top leg of the spider over here. And then it's not a horrible seam, but it is a very noticeable seam on the top part of his shoulder. And luckily, him with his head close to his shoulder, you don't really see it on the front in the corner here, which is okay. He comes off. That's the only part that comes off of Spider-Man, and then this comes out. The whole beam comes out of the base, and then he's got like an handprint with a peg and a key for the top of the beam. You got some nice shades of blues, purples, and blacks through Spider-Man himself. It's mostly like a bluey purple for the highlights of his muscle on the suit, which is quite nice. Then you've got like some grays through the white spider on his chest and back. Same with his eyes. Now, usually with the spider on almost any Spider-Man or Venom statue, there's either an indentation of the spider, an exdentation where it's popping out. It's either just painted on, where there's no variant of roughness to the spider, or it has an indented outline, which is this one here. So you can notice the difference between all of the ones I mentioned. But this one's nice. It's not too over the top. It's not too overwhelming or overpowering at all, which is nice. It's just a very thin indentation line that outlines the spider. You've got the white parts on the tops of his hand and he's got a little hole there where the webbing comes out of. Then you move down to the beam, slightly tilted, as you can see there, like that. And then it's got a little hook that you can take off if you want to. I like to leave it on, gives it a little bit more of a motion, seeing as it's slightly tilted, as if it's just been slowly moving to one side. Then you've got the explosion, so it looks like the explosion's going that way. Out of everything, the concept of this is really nice because everything's going this way and he's going straight up and forward, which is pretty cool. So it gives it a bit more zazz, if you will. But it's got this, like, I'm not too sure, hexagon or octagon or whatever the shape is, where it's just like a museum base, where it's just a plain black base with a little bit of detailing to make it look, I'm not really sure, just it's there. You know, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just the base part. Some people don't like the black base at the bottom of any statue or figure or whatever, but I myself do like it. I think it ties in with the other premium formats of this line, which is Venom and Carnage, Green Goblin, and a Black Cat. The paint on the beam looks really nice. It's kind of got like a rusted kind of look with a few silver dots on it and some darker shading. Some darker oranges, lighter oranges. It just gives it like a very aged look, you know? The hook part of the crane here looks nice. It's just like a hard plastic. It's all just black with a silver dry brush over it. It looks good. It doesn't look too cheap or plastic-like. It looks nice. This is where things get weird for me because I'm not sure how I feel about the explosion. I do like it, but then when I look closely at it, I don't like it. I'm like, it looks alright with the whole thing together. I think that's the problem. Like, if you single it out and look at it, it doesn't look all that good. But if you look at the whole thing on its own, it looks awesome. And the reasoning behind that is it's a very weird sandy texture. So I would assume it's hard to sculpt clouds or smoke clouds, but they did a nice job. It's just, I don't know, like, I mean, mixed emotions about it, you know? But the paint is really nice. Lighter on the top, dark on the bottom, kind of like when you see a cloud of smoke do that, where the flames at the bottom are still there and you've got the darkest smoke on the outside. It looks like they kind of dry brushed a bit of black over the clouds to make, on that rough texture, it would have caught the paint, so it has those black parts on it. A little bit of greys in there and oranges for the explosion, for the heat. And then the same with the beam, it's got like this orange at the bottom base to make it look as if it's been either heated up or a reflection of heat on it. You know, like the red hot kind of look. So the surprise I wanted to tell you about this thing is, you may look at this and if you guys have this statue, you may see a little silver dot on the inside there. And that's because it is a signed piece with an authenticity sticker there. Actually signed by Stan Lee, if you're looking close. It was the last time he ever came to Australia. When I heard he was coming down, I just had to get it signed and I didn't know where the hell I was going to get it signed. Wasn't sure if I should get it on the top or where the beam is on the inside here or on this little square. Yeah, when I did go up and get it signed, I asked him to sign it there. And the person that was helping him out was like, you had to choose the smallest spot, didn't you? I'm sorry, I wasn't sure where else to get it. But I approached him and there was so many people there and I couldn't really talk to him that much, which kind of sucked, but I think I got my experience out of what I wanted. You know, I walked up to him like, Stan, the man, you're my hero. And he was like, damn right. Like, yeah, that's sick. I guess that's kind of the story behind the statue as it is. If you guys haven't picked this up, I highly recommend you pick it up. It's a nice statue. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me for this video. Whoever is supporting me, I appreciate it and I thank you for it. And I hope I'm bringing some joy to you guys. Anyway, thank you very much. See you later.